We're excited to announce that we're bringing back Sauna Camp 2.0 on March 20th from 2 to 8 p.m. We had this last year. We had 42 owners. This year, we're maxing out the capacity of the camp, which is going to be 60 people. We're going to have a wellness panel with some Everest summiters, as well as some Iron men and women to compete, and all about wellness and how they prioritize their health and wellness, not only in training, but in their lifestyles and in their business. And then we're going to have a 2-hour window of sauna and cold plunging in the lake, and then an amazing wood-fired grill, Mediterranean style food at the end of that. So if you're interested, please head to curiousbuilder.com. Under retreats, you'll find everything there is about Sauna Camp on March 20th in Minnesota.
In the beginning of the year, I think at one point I had 10 clients. I mean, that's 20 blogs. We were like just smashed. And there was definitely kind of a toll. And I remember thinking like, I've got to hire somebody. I've got to bring someone on to help me because I can't keep doing all of this.
Welcome to Curious Builder Podcast. Today's guest is a good friend of ours, a repeat guest on the podcast. We've got Alyssa Abbott from Olive and Vine Socials. We just saw each other this weekend in Arizona. How fun was that?
It was so much fun. I was so glad to be there, and it was so cool getting to sit. This was my first time ever going to a collective, so I loved getting to hear just the things that I write about all the time.
I know, that was pretty great. Well, and I got to meet your husband. He came down to take all the photography, so
Yeah,
it sounds like he's already uploaded. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm excited to see it.
it's there.
So today's topic, losers are winners. As we do, we talk about our failures and the things that we have done poorly and what we learned. So what have you got? What are some I stubbed my toe moments in running your business? Because how long have you had your business now?
So I officially started Olive and Vine in 2023. But I kind of started this type of work, I was probably 21. So it took me about 2 years to figure out that I wanted to do something a little more niche. And then I did that. And then it took me, I mean, I'm still, obviously, we're all just still trying to figure out what systems and processes and everything. But I originally left corporate work so that I could be a stay-at-home mom. And now I'm a stay-at-home mom and business owner. And,
Yeah, that's fun. 2 jobs, all under the
I
same
know.
roof.
Yes, it's good. I feel like this year has been my year of figuring out a lot. Last year was 24 was so good. I had like just lots of clients. Things were really, really good. I remember at the end of the year, towards the end of the year, telling Maddie, my copywriter, like, we're gonna double this. We're rolling. We got this all figured out. I mean, tell God your plans. And this year has been a year of growth in a way that I didn't necessarily want, but absolutely needed. And I feel like that's kind of been my loser. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
My opportunity. Yeah.
tell me more about it. Like, what specifically was happening that caused you to have this year of growth?
Yeah. A lot of it had to do with my own team, and a lot of my own team, which kind of stemmed from wanting to have more time with my family. In the beginning of the year, I think at one point I had 10 clients. I mean, that's 20 blogs. We were like just smashed. And I remember being like, I am working every little moment in between everything. Like, my kids are napping. One of my kids wasn't napping. And so, he's like wanting to play with me. And I'm like, I gotta work. I gotta get stuff done. And yeah, my family was there was definitely kind of a toll. And I remember thinking like, I've got to hire somebody. I've got to bring someone on to help me because I can't keep doing all of this. And so a lot of it, finding the right people definitely was a struggle. I brought on a really amazing VA just to kind of help me do everything that I was doing. Like, she took half and I took the other half, and of just managing stuff. And at one point she left and I had a lot to, it was just like figuring out, I had never brought on someone besides my writer, and figuring out SOPs, figuring out my system, figuring out how to train somebody, all of that I was kind of doing as we were just also still trying to provide amazing service and amazing blogs and content and research and all of the things that we do. it was a lot. And so then I brought someone else on who wasn't a good fit. And I can't remember if I heard it from you. I probably heard it from you. What is it? Hire slow, fire fast,
Yeah,
something like
and
that.
it's and
Or fire fast.
I like to laugh about that because I don't do that. I hire fast
That's
and
not
I
my
fire slow. And so,
yes.
yeah, I think Walt Disney said that. Brad Levitt used to always talk about it. I've made all those mistakes too. I mean, I talk
Mm.
a lot about it, but today's not my losers as winners. Today's your losers as winners. So what, yeah, so I mean, what did you learn about, so you had would you say the first one that left was a bad hire or just didn't last long enough? Like,
No, I mean, she was wonderful. I think what I've learned is I wasn't looking for the right person. I was just desperate to have somebody like a virtual assistant, and I didn't really think about like the skills that I needed that person to have. She also was similar to me. She was wanting to run her own business and was kind of doing side work and grew out of me and many other clients that she had to kind of go and pivot her business. And so certainly I love supporting her and being working with her, but yeah, I mean, she had a lot going on personally and within her business. So from what I have learned is I now have a team of all of us, including me, is four. I have my copywriter. I have who's been with me from the beginning. I have a blogging virtual assistant and a Pinterest assistant. And both of those people are specialists in those areas. And before I was just looking for someone to kind of do an umbrella to fill those, whatever I needed her to do. And now I have it a little more specialized. So my blogging assistant, she runs a blog. She has her own blog. She's worked with other writers and organized. She'll have guest writers on her blog. And so I don't know why I didn't think of it. It's kind of obvious now looking back in hindsight. Um, but yeah, I mean,
I think we all want a unicorn, right? I mean, everyone wants
yes.
the unicorn. Who doesn't want a unicorn? I
Mhm.
mean, unicorns are the greatest. And so,
Yeah.
of course, we're tempted by, this mythical creature that can do everything. And so I think I don't know any owner that isn't succumbed to the unicorn theory. We should
Yes.
really, that would be great to
The
actually do a whole,
unicorn
we
theory.
should write a blog. We should totally write a blog on this. This would be very relatable. If only I knew someone that could help me write a blog about unicorns. It'd be very catchy, actually. I'd say let's go for it. This is a live edition. This is audience. This is exactly what Alyssa has to deal with. Just random requests to make it happen. Like she does all the hard work. I provide the inspiration, and somehow this magic happens.
Me too.
Um, what about yeah, have you ever had lost files or like I'm trying to think of some other things that have happened in your career where you're like, oh, like at the time, some of our biggest losses, like we don't know how to get through them. And then in hindsight, the reason, the thing that happened to us is the reason we're successful.
Hmm.
Can you think of anything like that's happened in your career?
I mean, I think losing what you were just saying, losing my original VA felt like we were done. I was like, this is it. I quit. Like I literally was like, I'm gonna let my clients write. I'll probably just work with Mark and I will just ride this out. And because how can I do I genuinely want to have time with my babies. I don't want to be thinking about work. And I think as entrepreneurs, we're always thinking about work, and that's a whole that's a whole other podcast. But luckily we didn't lose any files. She was really good at offboarding everything, but I truly was just like, I don't know what to do. Like I don't know who to hire. A lot of times I'm in a lot of like Facebook groups for entrepreneurs and women owned businesses and things like that, and Pinterest groups. And then I was like, why don't I look, well, first I hired someone for blogging because that was kind of the priority. I could do Pinterest if I needed to. And what I mean by that is just like I can do all the graphics and all the scheduling, all the kind of things that take a little bit more time. And yeah, so I took a step back, I took a pause. I did probably everything for about a month because there was just a transition that I didn't have anybody. I hadn't found someone yet. And so that I think brought me to really think about my business. I built out a lot of SOPs in the time that she was offboarding, which was a blessing because now I have a whole bunch of processes built out that are recorded, and I could bring on anybody, and for the most part, they could figure out what we're needing to do that next month. And so, yeah, no, that was a blessing. Like I probably we're much more efficient now where I feel more comfortable taking on, another 10 clients because I know that my team, we have our systems, the people know what they're doing. They're specialists in what they do. They're not just, I can kind of, my unicorn girl that was somewhat a unicorn. But yeah, no, I mean, I definitely feel like where we're at now, the last couple of months, we've been so good. This month, I have stepped back a little bit. I've traveled. I've had sick kids. I have a nanny that comes 2 days a week to help with the younger two while I work. And, there's been sickness and cancellations and things. And I feel like looking at November, I worked a lot less than I normally do. Um, but things are moving. We're ahead for December, thanks to someone getting their questionnaires to me extra early.
Yes. That was the fastest I've ever done it.
That I stood there and looked at my phone like, what? This cannot be. But it was. Thank you. But yes, so I feel like those times when you're just like, it's over. Like I don't know how I can move forward. We're done. The jig is up. And I was able to just really like look at everything. And somehow, yeah, it was clearer. I was able to figure out like I don't need a unicorn. I need someone who knows what they're doing for these
You're
specific
like, I need
tasks.
4 horses. I can spare the unicorn. I need 4 horses.
I need an army. But I'm excited because it positions us for next year. This year I went with you guys to Chicago and I talked with a bunch of incredible builders and designers and architects. And I like 6 or 7 people that I've been talking to that are kind of lining up for this next year. And so I feel like we paused, but we moved forward this year. I think we moved forward in ways that absolutely needed to.
When it comes to quality, craftsmanship, and performance, Pella sets the standard. Whether you're building custom homes or designing a timeless space, Pella offers innovative window and door solutions that blend beauty and efficiency. With showrooms and experts around the country, Pella makes it easy to find the perfect fit for your next project and their team to support it. Build with confidence, build with Pella. Visit Pella.com to explore products and connect with your local rep today. For more information, you can listen to episode 1 or listen to episode 109, where we bring on Pella owners and founders at Pella Northland, as well as their innovative team behind the Steady Set innovation. This episode is brought to you by Adaptive. If you're still chasing checks and juggling spreadsheets, it's time to upgrade. Adaptive is revolutionizing how builders get paid with AI-powered bill pay, automated draws, one-click payments, and built-in lien waivers. Faster payments, fewer headaches, and total visibility. Adaptive takes care of the back-end chaos so you can focus on what you do best, building. We've used Adaptive for 2.5 years and trust them to keep our projects moving and payments flowing. Learn more at adaptive.build and simplify the pay process today. For more information, you can also listen to episode 10 and episode 15. Well, I can relate. I mean, a couple years ago, that's the thing about this, right? I mean, as a business owner, you listen to and everyone's reflecting on their own career. And for me, it was right after COVID, I should have hired someone sooner because our team was burned out. I was burned out. And then I hired someone too late. Then we didn't have enough work to fill it. And that was actually the first person in, I think, 18 years in, 19 years in. And that was the first person I ever had to let go. That didn't, that leave for their own reasons. And that was hard, but mainly, and that was my fault because I was too late in hiring them, and then then cash flow wise, we could not support that person. So hired him for 8 months to a year, had a really bad client experience. It wasn't the client's fault. It was because of this situation that, we lost a ton of money because of that decision, because the PM at the time couldn't handle, the client. We had a breakdown in systems. We also had an office manager twice change over during that period. I mean, we were a hot mess, hot mess. And so it's just funny because on the inside, the restaurant's operating, people are getting their food, but in the kitchen, it's like fire's burning. Everything is coming, it's just, every day. I heard a new quote that I like. Instead of every day is a new day, every day is a school day. And what my HVAC guy says that, well, I like that. Every day is a school day. It's like every day you're learning something new. And I remember one time as a kid asking my parents, like, I think they were, I don't know what I was going through. And they said, well, you've got to learn. I was like, well, man, at what point do I get to stop learning all this stuff? Like, and it turns out never. The day you die is
Or
the day you stop learning, because life is a curious journey of learning. And so, unfortunately, we keep learning lessons, the same lesson over and over and over again, unfortunately.
yeah,
So,
it's tiring. I feel that deep in my bones. Just like
well,
I'm
and
ready to be all knowing. But yeah, no, I mean, that's not even a good thing, because how are you going to grow? How are you going to
yeah. And
go
you wouldn't
beyond where
trade. I
you're
mean,
at?
it's an adventure. I mean, you wouldn't trade it for anything else. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that's why you
Oh
do it.
no.
It's funny because usually when I sleep really good. Last night, for whatever reason, maybe it's because between being down in Arizona and then over the weekend and this week being a short week, I was just thinking about all I had to get done. I woke up for about an hour, and this never happens. I could
Mm.
not sleep. My brain was an absolute, ADHD overdrive of all the things I wanted to do, and I couldn't sleep, which never happens. And this was
Oh
like, how
no.
you wake up in the morning and you're like, you love it when you're like, it's only 1 o'clock in the morning, I still have 4 hours to sleep or whatever. And I woke up thinking like, oh, it's probably 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. It was only 10:30. I'd only been sleeping for 2 hours. I'm like, crap. And so anyway, long story short, I went downstairs, I grabbed a pen, and I just wrote down everything that was in my mind just to clear my mind out. And then I went back to sleep, and I
Mm-hmm.
slept just fine. And so I used to have a PM that he asked for a glow in the dark pen so that he could write well next to his bed to get all his thoughts out and then go back to sleep. I just thought, anyway, I was thinking about this last night. Well, I'm not able to sleep anyway. That's how it goes. I can't hear you. Your audio's out.
Got it. Sorry. I do that too. I'll wake up in the morning or in the middle of the night, and you can't do anything. I'm not going to get up and do all these things that I'm thinking about. But yeah, I found that if I just write them down, or I've just put on my phone and like, okay, reminder to send this email out or do this thing really quick, it helps usually. Yeah.
Yep. What as actually, just talking out loud, like we should totally, this whole series, we're going to start a new series, or we just started it. I think what I call it, Therapy Thursdays.
Yeah.
So we're doing Therapy Thursdays and Losers Are Winners. I was going to do a Thankful Thursday for this Thanksgiving, since this is the day that'll air. So maybe, how about this? For the next 4 minutes, what are a couple things that you're thankful for this year?
Oh man.
It can be
I mean,
anything.
I'm not trying to be cliche, but for sure you have been a huge blessing to me and my business, and just the opportunities. I'm so thankful to have, I mean, timing of everything, to have met the people I've met, to have connected with you, and then, all the things that I've learned through you as you're learning the Curious Builder and things like that. That's been just been so cool. I don't think I'd be quite here without you. So
Oh,
you're
well,
definitely
thank
at the
you.
top of my business thankful list.
Ah,
Yeah, yeah, no, I mean it. Oh gosh, what else am I thankful? I'm thankful for a lot of things. I and my team for sure. I'm thankful for the failure of last year and the kind of fumbling that we had, and to be able to have walked through kind of, yeah, I mean, definitely weeks where I'm just like, this is just a failure. I failed, to really being able to take that time to discover like where we needed to make changes and things like that. So business wise, of course, like those things, the things that in hindsight you look back at and you're like, I'm thankful I went through that, because here we are.
what about personal? What kind of things are you thankful for this year?
Oh, I mean, I'm my husband has just he's amazing, and I'm being thankful for him and all the work and sacrifice. Like we're in a really good place, and to be able to hybrid homeschool my kids, and a lot of that is just due to him and his work and his business, and so I'm so thankful for that, and my healthy kids, and all of those kind of just the things near and dear to your heart. Yeah, I mean, I definitely, my heart is my family. And so to be able to be with them and have everyone just healthy and happy. I think lastly, our little community. We have a really good group of friends. I remember years ago, I think even before kids, I feel like it's just a weird place when you're married. There was a couple years where I didn't really have like a super good community of friends. We've always been involved in our church, but there's different groups of people there in different life cycles. And looking back now at like our community and our friends, I'm so thankful for that too. That's just, I've got some really good people around us in our family right now. So
Well,
just all the warm and fuzzies.
it's one of my favorite things. You know, my mom, I mean, a lot of people do this obviously around Thanksgiving, but I love going around the dinner table on Thursday and just everyone sharing something they're thankful for. And I mean, we give thanks every night before we have our meal, and we try to, have the little kids say thank you. And sometimes the kids will say, well, I don't know how to pray, or I don't know what to say. And I mean, it's literally that, thanks. And so I'm just like, well, what are you thankful for? Say anything. It's just, and I think it's beautiful to hear children especially give thanks, because it's like so pure and so innocent. And so that's really good. And, to echo your comment, I feel if I was to answer the question, I'd say the same thing. I think the number of doors that have opened just by having conversations with people, I'm super thankful that people are willing to be vulnerable and be authentic, and just to be, super open about sharing their stories and their struggles. And, I feel extremely fortunate to be around so many people that are amazing human beings, and you get to work with them day in and day out. And, you read all these terrible things in the paper. The other day I sat actually the night I came home from Arizona, my kids and wife was down at my in-laws for the weekend. So I called my buddy Drew Beeson. He's been on, you've met, or well, you've probably not met him, but you've probably written about him. And and he and his partner Ellie, we met for dinner. And just like, I don't know, people's generosity of their spirit. And there's so many relationships this year that have meant so much to me. And just people you talk to and people you connect with, people that you get inspired by. And it's really gratifying to be inspired, to be seen, and to be cared for by people in your business community and your personal community too. I mean, I think for me, they definitely intertwine a lot. And so, I don't really have to say whether it's personal or business. It's just like, I really care about people. And when you find kind of your vibe attracting your tribe, and you just get to whatever depth you can go with people, it's always just a really special moment. And so I don't know, I'm really thankful to have a career that inspires me, and to be around people that are very passionate about what they do, and just good human beings.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It's been cool to watch what's happened to you this year, and all the growth. And I'm excited to be here for it and a part of it in the way that I can be. So
yeah, well, absolutely. Well,
thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving to everyone listening. If anyone is listening on a Thursday, we thank you for listening. If you listen on a different day, well, thank you for listening on a different day too. There's no judgment on what day you listen to this. It doesn't have to be Thanksgiving. But you diehard fans out there on your morning walk or your morning run, thank you for listening in to the Curious Builder podcast. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you Monday. Thanks for tuning in to the Curious Builder podcast. If you like this episode, do us a favor. Share it with 3 other business owners. The best way that we can spread what we're doing is by word of mouth, and with your help, we can continue to help other curious builders expand their business. Please share it with your friends, like and review online, and thanks again for tuning in.